nominees for Best Play began in such diverse arenas as Broadway, off-Broadway, regional theatre, and London's West End. Tonight, we'll be seeing moments from each of them. Actually, the first of these plays began over 40 years ago in a house in Brooklyn. Broadway Bound is the final chapter of Neil Simon's trilogy based on his own early years. Jonathan Silverman is the author's young alter ego, and Linda Lavin, his heroic mother, in this gift from a writer generous enough to look back on his life and see not just himself, but all of us.
Oh, my God!
What?
What are you doing? Are you crazy sitting on my dining room table like that?
I'm sorry. I didn't leave any marks.
Marks I can clean off. I never want to see you show disrespect to this table. My grandfather made this table with his own hands for my grandmother. Over 52 years she had this table. When I was a little girl, I'd go to her house. She'd let me help her polish it. I didn't know it was work. I thought it was fun. Maybe because she and I did it together. Yeah. When she died, she left a will. She gave away dresses, jewelry, even a little cash. But she knew what I wanted. The table you eat on means everything. It's the one time in the day the whole family is together. This is where you share things. People who eat out all the time don't get to be a family. When I'm gone, if you and Josie get married, this'll be your table.
Maybe you'll let me polish it with you one day.
No. When your wife has a little girl, send her over. She and I will polish it.
Maybe we'll have twins. You can polish it twice as fast.
Twins? What are you doing? Don't follow me like that. You make me nervous.
I'm not following you. I just feel like talking to you.
Talking?
I love it when you tell me about the old days.
The old days? I don't even remember them anymore. They were such a long time ago.
Well, you just told me about the dining room table. That was a long time ago.
Well, that's it.
What was your grandmother like?
Tiny. Little bit of a thing. All the women were small in those days, but when I was 9 years old, I was bigger than she was. My grandfather had to pick her up to see the Statue of Liberty.
That must have been some day.
This is what they dreamed of all their life, to get to America. And when they saw that statue, they started to cry. The women were wailing, the men were shaking, everybody praying. You know why?
Because they were free.
Because they took one look at that statue and said, this is not a Jewish woman, we're going to have problems again.
Pulitzer Prize-winning drama Fences, August Wilson remembers America's black men and women of an only slightly distant past. He writes, they lived in pursuit of their own dream, that they could breathe free and stand to meet life with a force of dignity and whatever eloquence the heart could call upon. James Earl Jones and Courtney B. Vance are the father and son trying to reach across both a family and the struggle of that dream.
Can I ask you a question?
What the hell you want to ask me? Mrs. Stawicki is the one you got the questions for.
How come you ain't never liked me?
Liked you. Who in the hell ever said, I got to like you? What law is there to say, I got to like you? Do you want to stand up in my face and ask me some damn fool-ass question like that? Talk about liking somebody. Come here, boy, when I talk to you. Straighten up, goddammit. Ask your question. What law is there to say, I got to like you.
None.
All right, then. Don't you eat every day? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day?
Yeah.
Nigga, as long as you living in my house, you put a sir on the end of it when you talk to me.
Yes, sir.
You eat every day.
Yes, sir.
Got a roof over your head.
Yes, sir.
And clothes on your back.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think that is?
Because of you.
Hell, I know it's because of me. Why do you think that is?
Because you like me.
Like you. I go out of here every morning and bust my butt putting up with them crackers all day long because I like you. You is the biggest fool I ever saw. It is my job. It is my responsibility. You understand that? A man got to take care of his family. You live in my house. You sleep your behind on my bedclothes. You put my food in your belly because you are my son. You are my flesh and blood, not because I like you. It is my duty to take care of you. I owe a responsibility to you. Wait now. Let's get this straight right now. We'll go along any further. I ain't got to like you. Mr. Rand, don't give me my money come payday because he liked me. He give me because he owe me. Now, I didn't give you everything I had to give you. I gave you your life. Your mama and me worked it out between us. And liking your black ass was not a part of the bargain, and don't you try and go through life worried if somebody like you or not. You best make sure that they are doing right by you. You understand what I'm saying, boy?
Yes, sir.
And you get the hell out of my face and go on down under A&P.
The author of our third nominee for Best Play has said the reason one writes is to be able to do things better, to present yourself better, to rewrite your life. By writing for the theater, you get the fantastic chance to make everything come out the way you want it to. In her play, Coastal Disturbances, Tina Howe presents us with a collection of lives seeking a summer's refuge on a private beach. Timothy Daly and Annette Bening are the two young people desperately hoping it will all come out all right as they finally face that terrifying and exhilarating moment when someone has to be the first to say, "I love you."
God, I love this beach.
Yeah.
It's so comforting to think it's always been here. Mm-hmm. Before the Pilgrims, before Christopher Columbus, before the Indians even.
Yeah.
That's funny. You never picture Indians being at the beach. But they must have been. Can't you just see it? Teepee cabanas dotting the sand. Braves surfboarding on totem poles. You know what I read in a book? That the island of Atlantis was really inhabited by dolphins.
Come on.
No. It's true. They used to have legs and live on land.
Sure.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows that dolphins are more like us than any other species. They probably had colonies right here, on this very spot. I can feel it. Well, they were tremendously social, you know. They love to party. During the mating season, out came the dancing shoes, and there'd be this stampede down the Atlantic coast. The men, or bulls, I guess you'd call them, wearing seaweed tuxedos with mother-of-pearl studs. Don't you love it how they always call male sea animals bulls? Whoa, I caught me a great bull walrus today. Oh, God. Can't you see it? Wall-to-wall dolphins boogieing from Miami clear up to Canada. This pulsing silver tide for as far as the eye can see. The surf creeping higher and higher, packing them in. Lovesick couples sinking down to the ground. Flippers arching, backs yielding. Avalanches of seaweed and sand starting to roll. Boy, do I feel weird.
Ta-da! I've got you now.
To a friend, the 18th century French author Laclos spoke of wanting to write something out of the ordinary, eye-catching, something that would resound around the world long after I have left it. His novel of two former lovers trapped in a deadly game of passion and revenge has been adapted by the modern British playwright Christopher Hampton. It is brought to life by the Royal Shakespeare Company for us now. Lindsay Duncan is the mistress of this deadly game, and Alan Rickman, the master, challenged to win another woman's love in Les Liaisons Dangereuses.
I've already explained to you how much I enjoy watching the battle between love and virtue.
What concerns me is that you appear to enjoy watching it more than you used to enjoy winning it.
All in good time.
The century is drawing to its close, Vicomte.
That's true. She has resisted me for more than 2 months now, and that's very nearly a record, but I really don't want to hurry things. We go for a walk together almost every day. A little further down the path that has no turning. She's accepted my love. I've accepted her friendship. We're both aware how little there is to choose between them. Her eyes are closing. Every step she tries to take away from the inevitable conclusion brings her a little closer to it. Hopes and fears, passion and suspense, even if you're in the theater, what more could you ask?
An audience?
No, but you're my audience. And when Gercourt is married and Madame de Tourvel eventually collapses, we shall tell everyone, sure enough. And the story will spread much faster than the plot of the latest play, and I've no doubt it'll be much better received.
I hope you're right, Vicomte. I wish I could share your confidence.
I'm really sorry, our agreement does not relate to the task you set me, rather than the task I set myself.
I am grateful, of course, but that would have been almost insultingly simple. One does not applaud the tenor for clearing his throat.